Why is every single cartoon getting a reboot? Not only Pixar, but like every cartoon on Cartoon Network, everything is getting a reboot.
Steven Universe, regular show, Gumball. We went to the ground floor of Annecy, France to figure out what is happening.
Yeah, the Annecy Animation Festival. We got press badges and we were able to see all the announcements live, and it was a really fun time. We're going to be talking about all the new announcements and our thoughts. Stay tuned to the end for some fun announcements. The weird world of what's it called? The weird world of Gumball.
The ridiculous, fantastic,
the digital
world of Gumball.
The Phasmadoria Midoriya version of Gumball. We saw a new clip from that. It was a Gumball and Miss Simian.
It looked like Gumball.
Imagine if there was more Gumball. That's what it looked like. But the director, Ben Bocletel, is that how you pronounce it? Boucle.
I'm sorry, Ben. We're close friends, and I'm sorry for f***ing up your last name.
Boucle.
The Void arc is, I don't understand. He said, oh, like we're wrapping it up in this season, but then it was supposed to be in the movie, which is temporarily delayed. So is it in the movie?
Yeah.
Is it in the show? I don't know. He didn't even seem to know why the title of the show was different.
Yeah, he didn't know.
He seems to just be happy that he gets to continue making Gumball show.
He brought up a bunch of plots that are going to be in it, like Nicole, Gumball's a beautiful mother, falls in love with an AI. Gumball, especially the later seasons, is so woke and like political that like I'm not surprised that they're I guess.
The clip they showed did kind of comment on not only teachers and schools being underfunded, but also military being overfunded.
Yeah.
It definitely seems to be continuing in the trajectory of being a little bit more overtly political satire that they had in like the last couple seasons.
I feel like it's pretty hit or miss for Gumball, but I'm excited to see it. I know I made that video about how I don't want Gumball, but now it's been so long that I'm like, I kind of crave it.
I mean, these days it's like there's just not much to comment on in terms of political satire.
Yeah.
There's not much to say. There's not really that much going on.
They showed the new intro sequence, which looked awesome. The original Gumball song is iconic, it's great, but the visuals in this new season were so cool. They said they got some artist from Brazil or something.
I don't remember where the artist came from, but he said that they had like a.
He appeared.
He manifested himself in reality.
Are they or them?
Or us?
We didn't make it. I promise.
It's like a Y2K style, very glitchy, a little touch of Pibby.
The Pibbification of Warner Brothers while canceling Pibby show is actually f***ed up. Before every screening.
Right.
At this festival, they would play this Bugs Bunny Warner Brothers intro that had like glitched out characters, and like every single time I'm like, they're just teasing the Pibby glitch guy.
And Bugs Bunny comes out and he's like, oh, the animators are busy at the festival. Well, I'll make the show. It's gotta have jokes. Fart joke. It's gotta have tragedy. The Rock falls on the Roadrunner and then the Wile E. Coyote is really sad about it.
Yeah.
It's gotta have more jokes, and then there's 500,000 Yogi Bears farting on the screen. It was kind of like amusing the first time, and then I saw it like 19 more times.
There's a reason Core can reiterate it from front to back. Lars and the Stars, dude. I was telling Core, I think they're going to do Steven Universe 3. I think they're going to do it again. It's also co-created with Rebecca Sugar and Ian Jones-Quartey. Quartey?
Oh, Cordy. I just say JQ.
Ian JQ, creator of OKKO, but he also executive produced Steven Universe. I think it would be interesting because it's...
Wait, you believe that Rebecca Sugar and Ian JQ will make a show that is good?
I think they don't have any kids because they've been making this baby for a while. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be Lars. He has to go on a mission to take down Steven because Steven's actually become evil because he's discovered that he can just kill people and revive them, and then they become his slaves that he can use as portals for quicker transport.
Well, because Steven, at the end of the show, he drives to college or whatever. He discovers marijuana, and that very much clouds his mind. We were talking about this a bit before, but I'm just excited to see all of Lars' crew developed more.
See how they get fleshed out.
Yeah, because they're funny characters, but they're not like super well defined like every other Steven Universe character.
Because I mean, it was like Lars in the Stars. He was just like it was a fun little thing for Lars to do, a crew, a little bit of a Captain Harlock parody also.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see how they take that and flesh it out into a fully realized concept.
We saw a bit of Jasper at the end of Steven Universe Future, like she had a bit of focus, but I feel like she didn't have like the ending that she needed Like it felt,
Yeah, it felt like they finally took a step to really letting her grow and finally escape her past. But it doesn't feel like she reached the ending of that arc yet.
yeah, it was very strange, and I could definitely see like a world where Jasper kind of hops on Lars's spaceship and like is a part of it in some way.
Jasper hops on Lars's spaceship.
I know Rebecca Sugar did a bunch of like fan art of Steven with like facial hair and shit, so I expect maybe we get like a 5-10 year time jump or something. Steven's got a bit of facial hair. He's actually 20 years old, but he looks like he's 26. Not to, you know.
Are you talking about something specific?
No, I'm not talking about me at all. But yeah, I want to see what Stadi's up to. I want to see what like all the crystal gems are up to. Maybe the crystal gems took over the planet in a evil fascist dictatorship. The diamonds.
We have such great theories. It's what if the characters that everybody likes were evil?
That's every theory on the internet, bro. Smiling Friends. That was probably one of my favorite parts of Annecy. Yeah, it was.
They bribed us.
Oh yeah, they gave us this Adult Swim hat and a there's a picture.
Let me see if this will focus.
We got a picture too.
There we go.
I know we got. It was a very funny panel. Like Michael and Zach clearly have like a really funny back and forth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like at the end of the day, you're watching them just talk and riff and chat, and they're funny people with a good dynamic.
I thought it was interesting that like they talked about like they write the entire show just in Discord calls, because Core and I are making a show, a pilot. You can check it out, Milk Animation, and we're doing it all remotely. So I'm like, if a show this good can do it remote, maybe our thing's gonna be okay. Stay tuned later in the year.
I mean, that's what Zakero was saying, is that like we try not to think of it like the big important TV show that needs to have offices and secretaries bringing us coffee, because I think somebody asked about the difference between doing this and doing like YouTube cartoons, and they were basically just like, the main difference is the pressure is higher.
Did they answer more emails?
And there's like deadlines, because nobody cares if someone makes a shitty YouTube cartoon, but if you have a bad episode in the season, they're like, you guys fell off.
Chopping block. Well, clearly they didn't fall off because they greenlit it for like 2 more seasons. Back in the day, even like a show like Smiling Friends, I don't think would go on. Like I would imagine it would be something like Drawn Together or like early MTV stuff where they get like 3 seasons or something. Because it feels
in the 90s, there wouldn't be as many seasons of Smiling Friends.
Nice. We're not talking about BoJack yet, bro. You have to save that for next time. I hope Dax Flame is in this season. That's what I want.
We're at the closing ceremony, and they played a short film in which Dax Flame just voiced the main character of the short film, and you caught it like instantly.
I was like, Dax
2
Flame,
words
what?
in.
It was awesome. It was a really funny short too. I just think Dax Flame as a Smiling Friends character would be amazing, and that's my prediction. If he's in it, all of you have to comment on this video, okay? Comment, Jack is handsome and sexy. We got to see episode 1 of season 3 early.
Well, I didn't want to be spoiled, so I covered my eyes.
Yeah, Core was like, and I was just whispering to him what was on the screen, so I was only paying attention like half the time. A stupid character showed up and he was stupid.
It was a terrible joke, didn't laugh.
I didn't laugh at that. No, it was a good episode. There were some like new dynamics that I think they were like said they were gonna play with in this season.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're playing around with like the character arrangements. This episode, it was very similar to the Gwimbly episode in the kind of like very over the top and really interestingly animated characters showing up. That is what I think is really the thing that makes it more appealing, because so many jokes and gags and characters are funny specifically because of the way that it looks.
Yeah, no, I think all the different animation styles definitely make it feel that way, like in comparison to like all the other animated shows that look the same, that like have very basic puppet animation, like Family Guy, which I love, and like Simpsons, which I like.
Neither of those shows use puppet animation.
Okay, well. Adam Muto came out, talked about the new season of Fiona and Cake, which I'm pretty excited for, to be honest. We watched all the show. I think it was fun. There's a lot of creative episodes, but overall, like, pretty mixed on it, I think.
Yeah, the style is great, especially like the Ice Queen episode is fantastic.
Exactly what I was thinking of when I said creative episodes, is that's the only one. That's the one I was thinking
That's the first
I'm
one.
like, Brian David Gilbert, the GOAT.
But I still felt like Fiona and Cake were not super well defined as characters.
Some of the ideas with the multiverses was cool, but I just think obviously there is a multiverse
There's
fatigue.
multiverse exhaustion. But they said that this season's going to be more focused on like one world. It's going to be kind of taking taking that twist where like Simon was the third member of the team, which is so funny because that is such a classic like fan fiction where it's like my OCs and this character together.
And Simon.
Now they're best friends. But this time we're getting Huntress Wizard involved, which I'm excited about because I think Huntress Wizard is also a character that's not as fleshed out.
As you were saying, yeah, they're pretty underdeveloped, especially Cake, I would say. Fiona definitely gets
Maybe a little half-baked.
Save me, please. I don't want to be here anymore. They showed like a short little like clip show of like what season 2 is gonna look like, and it has Marshall Lee and Prince Bubblegum. What's his name? Bubblegum guy.
Isn't his name some shit like Bob or something?
Bob
they
something.
Call him something normal.
Because yeah, I think it seems pretty cool. I like all the character designs. I think the best characters in season 1 are Marshall Lee and Bubblegum, which I don't remember the name of. So are they really the best character if I can't remember the name?
Rebecca Sugar's gonna come back. I think they said that she's doing at least one song, if not more, for the new season.
I think she said multiple
episode.
Yeah, no, she storyboarded an episode. Like, what the hell? That's weird. When was the last time she storyboarded on Steven Universe, dude?
I feel like it's interesting because there was like so long where Rebecca Sugar wasn't like on anything, and now it's like we're hearing, oh, she's writing on this movie and working on this, and then she's also doing Lars of the Stars. She has an album coming out.
Yeah, imagine that perspective. You're Rebecca Sugar. You're show running like a popular show for 7 years of your life.
Sorry, I'm trying. It's just really hard to picture myself as Rebecca.
Yeah, I know.
In Adventure Time news, there's also Adventure Time
side
stories.
Is that what it's called? Side quests.
That's
what it's
like
called.
Video gaming. I think it's good that they're making this show because there's a divide. There's the people that like the Adventure Time lore, and those people are awesome and cool. And then there's people that like the silly old first seasons, and those people are respectable, but not quite as respectable as the cool people. So if you want more Finn and Jake adventures, goofy silliness, that's what this is going to be. They had a new intro that was like kind of neat looking.
Old intro though.
It's the new intro. It's the old intro, but it's new, but it's old. Pendleton Ward did board on an episode of that, I believe they said.
I'm surprised he took a break from hitting the bong, bro, to clock into work. My goat, dude.
Yeah, I think we didn't see this, but the panel that had Gendy, Pendleton Ward, Craig McCracken, apparently like half of it was just them talking about like around and smoking weed all the time.
Which is crazy. This is just crazy to do an animation panel when like most of these things are made for children. But, you know, children smoke weed too.
That's the representation that we need.
They're rebooting another show, regular show. They're rebooting another show, guys. But this one, I think I'm a bit more optimistic about. The way JG Quintel was talking about it, it just seemed like he didn't want to do it unless they did something pretty different. I don't think it's going to appeal to adults, but I think it's going to like tonally.
I think he's going to try and maybe evolve it in some sort of way.
Yeah, which
gives people something new.
They played a clip from it, and it didn't have any of the regular show characters. It was just a bunch of like office workers.
Yeah. You showed some pictures of food.
Yeah, they had like pho that didn't really look like pho, which was weird. So maybe that's what's not regular about the season, is that he doesn't know what Vietnamese food looks like. I'm optimistic. I don't think he would do something unless he really wanted to do it. But speaking of shit that he didn't want to do, he's making
Speaking of shit that he didn't want to do?
Oh, but speaking of shit that he did want to do. He did want
They're forcing him at gunpoint to make this show that is a passion project because he met
Jillian Tamaki.
He was telling a story how like 7 years ago he read this graphic novel comic from Jillian Tamaki called
Super Mutant Magic Academy.
Great title, love the title.
Not a very good
title.
title.
No notes. He said it was really good and he thought it would be perfect for a show and that she should pitch it and make it into a show, and she was like, oh, I would never do that unless you were like EPing it. And he was like, I'm gonna keep that in mind. 7 years later, he gets a deal to make 2 shows, one of them being regular show, and he brings her on for this adaptation.
It looks really cute. I love the art style. The title makes it seem pretty generic.
Yeah, when I first saw the initial announcement, I was like, oh, is this like a show for 10-year-old girls? Like, I'm glad, like, go 10-year-old girls. It's actually gonna be, it seems like it's more of like an adult comedy sense.
Yeah, it's all on Adult Swim, which yeah, I think gives it a bit of an edge.
They showed a clip from it, and it was like, this guy cursed with immortality. You watch him try to kill himself and fail.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
It was really funny, though. It was just a storyboarded clip, because I think it's still pretty early on in development. But it was really funny.
Even if you have mutant, even if you power super high school, still sucks.
A high school stink smell. We didn't get into the Pixar panel. We waited in line.
We went up there, and then, like, even though he doesn't work there anymore, they had John Lasseter just working security.
Yeah, he was working.
Sorry, I've heard your jokes. You guys can't.
The odds are done. Like, we just made fun of John Lasseter so much. He just despised us. It made me really sad because I think he's an amazing director, but you know, him. They announced the new Luca director, Luca Gadino. No, that's the guy who did Challengers. But it's called Gato. It's basically like if Flo met The Godfather.
Like,
that's what it seems
a hilarious thing to say, but also it might be true.
I think that's actually what it is, because it's about a black cat in Italy that like is involved with the cat mafia or something.
Yeah, I just want this director to make movies about Italy for like the next like 30 years. I'd be perfectly happy with that.
I'm dying to go to Italy. Like, I met like an Italian guy at this festival, and I'm like, dude, I just want to go to Italy. I watched Luca and I want to go to Italy. Most people just want to go to Italy because they like pasta, but the reason Core and I want to go to Italy is because of Luca.
It's like, we're not the same. Like, you want to go to Italy because of the pasta and the funny hand gestures. We want to go because of Luca.
We want to go because of Luca. I'm really excited for this movie. I think cat movies are cool. I like cats.
Also, original movie from Pixar. It very much seems like they've entered a one for you, one for me situation with Disney these days, where it's like Disney, I imagine, is pressuring them a lot for the sequels, but then they're still putting out the originals as well.
There was so much backlash for the announcement of Toy Story 5 and Inside Out 2, but even so, like, Inside Out 2 being a great movie, I think just like eases all of my worries about Pixar, because like in recent times, they've had a lot of flops, they've had a lot of mid, like...
Lightyear was good though.
Lightyear was great, but then greenlighting more stuff like Gato, like Domishi's new movie, and Hoppers.
Gato and Hoppers are like the two main upcoming originals. Hoppers is coming out,
I think it's next year.
Next year, and the year after is supposed to be Gato.
Yeah, 2027 is when Gato's coming out. I'm just really excited. I'm just happy original animation is still being made there. I think you said, that is the bread and butter of Pixar. That's their that's
the bread and olive oil.
That's the bread and olive oil, because we're in France still. We're in Paris. We're in this small little hotel room. Shout out.
You think anybody can see us through the window? Hi, big fan.
Hey guys, we're talking about anime. Oh no, we're not talking about, what's it called? Animation.
What's that thing called again?
Toy Story, they have a visual where they're all looking at a iPad or something.
Let's get the phone bad movie.
I feel like it has to be though. I can't imagine kids playing with toys as much as like we did as kids, because so many parents just hand them the iPad with Cocomelon.
Oh my god,
you know what I mean? That's what the movie's gonna be about.
This is gonna be like, I cried. The millennials are gonna go see this movie. They're gonna be like, kids don't play with toys anymore.
You're saying that I'm gonna be like that in the theater. I cried watching Toy Story 4. I'm sad that kids aren't playing with toys anymore. I feel like
I didn't play with toys. They were posable action figures.
You, dude.
To be honest, I had like one Transformers toy, and then it was probably about like 90% Bionicles and Legos.
I had a shit ton of Pokemon toys, and I would make my own Pokemon adventures. I would pretend to be Ash, my Ash one, and then I would catch different Pokemon.
And then you would be like, okay, I'm tired of playing with toys, and then you'd play Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I think being a child who plays with toys, it just forces your, like, kids' imaginations run wild. Being a child and expressing yourself through playing with toys. Like, I think
it's the same with reading, yeah.
It's important. I feel like it's really important.
We've become old codgers because, like, with the amount of brain rot that's infected the world, I have become a phone bad person.
Yeah.
But our YouTube shorts are good, though.
Our YouTube shorts are so
shorts
good.
are actually
Are you
not brain
They're
rot,
not. They're actually.
and they're good
They're
for your
art.
brain. We should start putting like math problems in the videos, so it's like there's some mental stimulation.
We need Mario to get on that. Yeah, shout out Mario, our YouTube Shorts editor. We didn't get into the Pixar panel, as I said, but they released some clips from Hoppers, apparently, and people like it, I think.
I think someone said that it was like Matrix, and it was like...
Matrix? What?
The quote was so weird. It was like 3 completely unrelated genres of movie in one.
And this is the We Bare Bears guy.
It sounded pretty crazy. John Hamm is in it.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
I love John Hamm.
I watched season 1.5 of Mad Men recently, so...
Core watched
I know
one
who
season
he
of
is
Mad Men
now.
and cannot stop talking about it. So.
I can't. Well, it's like once you see it, then you see there's Mad Men
Everywhere. They're so. Why is everyone so mad?
Everybody's so mad.
And yeah, I guess the last thing we wanted to talk about, like show-wise, was Long Story Short, the new show from Raphael Bob Waksberg. We got to see the first episode. It comes out in August, I believe. BoJack is like my favorite show of all time. It just feels like he gets me. And I think in Long Story Short, they're jumping more into the dynamics of family. He was mentioning in the panel kind of
Then
how
he's been watching like a lot of Fast and Furious movies. It was really on his
Dom
mind.
Toretto and his...
Develop those ideas.
Yes, he was mentioning how BoJack's parents were kind of like cartoonishly evil. Like it was
Like he has a ridiculously tragic backstory.
yeah, most families aren't like that. And it's like there's so many moments in your life that are trauma, but not like a capital trauma, but like a small T trauma. This show is about like the small.
That's what he said in between the 15 minutes of writhing around on the stage.
Yeah, he was like flopping around on the stage making metaphors.
He's like, so what we're doing with BoJack, it's like we've got like the adult comedy over here, and then there's like this. It's like, oh, what if we had this drama over here, and what if we went into this, and what if we stretched out like this? I understand now that when he says that he was studying to be an actor, and the only reason that he decided to pursue playwriting was because if you were an actor, you had to not only do like your acting for your final, but you also had to write an essay.
Yeah.
And if you were a screenwriter, you just had to write a play. It was like, well, it's less writing.
It's less writing.
It was funny. There was lots of dialogue. What a terrible, like, stupid thing to say.
There's a lots of dialogue.
The characters talked. It has the energy of BoJack, but it's a lot. I think the show will be less of a downer. He mentioned it being similar to shows like King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers, but with that layer of his style, and also the fact that it's going to be non-linear. So we're jumping around the family members and getting their points of view at different points in their life. The first episode, it's like one particular member of the family that we're empathizing with, and you kind of get the feeling of like, oh, his family's so crazy. And so I imagine we're going to jump around and get more context for all of these characters having, you know, somewhat abrasive personality.
Yeah,
it's also like the most like Jewish thing.
Oh my god, yeah, it is. I don't want to say it has the potential to be more grounded, but I feel like the absence of these like animals and like the more abstractness of BoJack will make it feel a bit more grounded.
Also the fact that BoJack is inherently kind of about an unrelatable scenario.
Yeah.
But this is just about, you know, normal family.
Let me use the bathroom.
Okay. You're so f***ing close to me, freak. But it's just like a more relatable scenario. Like we're not washed up Hollywood stars yet, so yet. I'm excited to see that. The art style is a bit stripped back, I think, for BoJack. I think it's
more like sketchy.
More sketchy, which I liked a lot. Music is fun.
There's lots of cool like visual stuff, like when one character's sort of panicking and he sees stuff in kind of like a trippy way.
Yeah.
So I really like this. I feel like I wasn't sold on it 100% at the first image, but watching it in the show, I was like, yeah, I like the way this looks.
It works. And yeah, I think that comes out in August. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I just wanted to talk about our overall experience with annecy and
That's
like
great. He has this notebook here, but it's actually it's just empty. Like there's nothing written.
There's actually it's just complete.
It's just like there's like a flip book of like a
Nicole
stick figure.
Yeah.
Right here you wrote like Nicole like 5.
Nicole 5. It's like how like I was just trying to mimic like Bart Simpson when he writes all the stuff on the chalkboard. I was just doing that with Nicole just to remember her. We met some really cool people. We met some of you guys who watch our videos, and that was really nice. Yeah, we met.
Shockingly, you guys were cool. Keep being cool. please.
Keep being cool. That was nice.
We were getting crepes and we just met Tony Bancroft, co-director of Mulan.
Yeah, one of our fans, Cooper, shout out him. He introduced us to Tony Bancroft, who was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because I'm like, damn, like Mulan just hits different, man. Mulan's the best. Core watched like one movie at the festival.
I saw like it was called like Olivia and the Invisible Earthquake. I made a critical mistake and watched it in Spanish with French subtitles.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty cool. Maybe keep an eye out for that. A very grounded type story. Reminded me a bit of like The Breadwinner. It's children finding ways to find joy in that kind of like rough situation. So it was a really cute stop motion film.
It seemed really cute. I saw the visuals.
We wanted to see this movie Amelie because it looks
little Amelie.
Adorable.
It's probably going to be really popular because it was like the most popular thing at this festival. Probably be an Oscar contender. That's probably what I'm guessing. Something. The town.
Ice cream. People be eating ice cream in this town.
Yeah,
they eat ice cream like it's a job, like a profession. You clock in at 9.
Did you had breakfast ice cream, bro? You had ice cream in the morning.
It was breakfast. It was brunch fist ice cream.
Brunch fist.
It was a solid like 10.35 ice cream.
10.35 ice cream, bro. I ate hell ice cream.
Annecy is a beautiful, beautiful town. We'd love to come back. Thank you to Annecy for giving us press and letting us come.
We appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. We were able to, get into all exclusive stuff, and that was really fun. If you guys want more content like this, we have a side channel called Spilling the Milk Live. It's very similar where we're just kind of talking. It's just like highlights from our Twitch, which you can also follow below. And check out all of our socials. Our Instagram, we're going to be posting more stuff on there. Au revoir. Ciao. Just end the video. End it, please. I'm going to kill myself. Please.
You can't say that.
Thanks to our May Patreon supporters: Aeromir, Aaliyah Link, Alzheimer's is a bad disease, you should cure it, Andrew Hobson, Apollyon, Atomic Leon, Bento, Case the One, Calm Luke, Cosmic Dega, Dante Estefan, Aiko, Emma Major, Foxy Roxy, George White, Helio, Imagination Horizons, Isaiah Alford, Jafe, Jao Martins, Ty Hallow, Mac and Cheese, Teo Martin, Mego Meanie Pug, Messiah Rogers, Nathaniel, Native 5, Omega Waffles by the way, Penny Pen Pen, Pigeon Witch, Potbelly Man, Rocky Road of Sprinkles, Bright Thocus, Saul Goodman, Sino Stone, Sir Kaiju, Spaghetti Lover 69, Spilling the Pilk, Whimsy, Whatevers, and Wolf's Rain.